man daal Premier League bi maa ngi kontaan Man City ñu ngi because I want them to at least push Arsenal.
maa la seen lifin bi de boy laas ñu ngi live léegi de mu nga start.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Fan Zone. Tonight, we're diving into the story of one of the most exciting and fast-rising clubs in the Gambia. Of course, we're talking about Fortune Football Club, the Petroleum Boys, as they are commonly known. We will explore their journey from the community team to national champions, their reputation as a talent hub, and of course, their vision for the future. And joining us live is a very special guest tonight, the Secretary General of Fortune Football Club, Mr. Mohamed Lamin Drame. Mr. Drame, it's a pleasure to have you on the Fan Zone tonight. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Malo. Am I audible?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. Let's just start from the beginning. For the viewers that might not know the full story of Fortune Football Club, how was the club founded? And what was the original vision behind the club, Fortune Football Club?
Thank you, sir. A minute. So I joined Fortune in 2018. That was years after the establishment. Actually found on the 7th December 12. But first, as a club. So this is how the founder, Asandur, who wanted to, but fate has different plans. So in 2012, to take father's business, he joined Farato in Farato Navi, and then the following year could not participate. So he tried from Bara form a team and play it. So it was in 2012. Then am I?
Your line
it's really very, very audible, but we try.
Oh, okay. So that was in 2012. Then in 20, after then moved to become an bias. So this, then the team qualified, but knocked out in the second round. That was the turning point for Fortune, where won both and the knock to become an away. And then the team in away and again.
I mean, are you using airport or something?
No, okay, let me hold my phone. How is it? How is it now?
No, now it's perfect.
Yeah, now it's perfect. Then I have to hold my phone. Like, how is it?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So where did I? That is the problem.
No, just continue.
All right. So let's say so if you were not hearing, then maybe I can start so that you can.
Yeah, you can start from the beginning if you want, just to let us know briefly, you know, the reasons and why Fortune Football Club was founded, and what your original vision of the club was.
So basically, so like I joined Fortune in 2018. So that was 6 years at the club. So it started as a Norwegian club Parato in 2012. And then in 2013, the team moved to participate Kama Sports Committee in Awetan. 2014, that was the turning point of the club history where the was league out Awetan. 2015 when Kama, but unfortunately could not win the league. After the final in 2015, president of the West Coast Regional Football Association, Mr. Abdul Qasi, convinced the president to register the participate in the Indian Football Association team participated in the qualifiers. Unfortunately, we could not make it, so we had to wait for loser spot. Fortunately, we got won the league in 2016. Then 2017, after winning the league, rather we went for a playoff, qualified to the second division 2017. Then in our first year in the second, and then eventually moved to the School of Government Football, that is the first division. 2019, 2020, and our third season, we won the league. And then from there, ever since we started in the first division, it's been competing for trophy.
Yeah, that's really good, and of course, an incredible journey that you have had, because in a decade, in a decade, in the span of 10 years, you have started to be a community team, and then being a national champion. It's absolutely amazing, looking at your story and seeing all of the things that you have achieved. But I just wanted to know and ask you, in your own understanding, what do you really think were the key decisions or the turning points that really accelerated this rise? Because within the span of 10 years, you were a community team, starting very low, and then became a national champion within the span of 10 years. It's absolutely amazing and incredible. So I just wanted to know, you personally, that knows the team, the minds, and how you work together. Probably there were key decisions, very tough decisions that you made, and that served as a turning point to your success today. Can you come up with something that you thought was the reason why you became very successful, within these 10 years?
Well, so basically, is the vision of Mr. Hassan, who is willing to invest, because he understands that football is beyond game.
Yeah.
Football is an enterprise, and as a businessman himself, he knows very well for him to get the team where he wants the team to invest first, invest, and then invest in people that will make it possible where we want to be. Someone who, like I've been saying, this running the football club is like owning a child. But despite he has been spending, we have to see the benefit spend on the team. So that is the turning point. We have someone willing to invest in it.
Yeah, amazing. I just want us to dive into something that I think it's very important, because you have won the league. You are a team that has won the Gambian First Division, and this came in, was it in 2021? Or yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to know, or I want you to take us back, to this season, when you won the league, from inside of the club, the mindset of the club. What do you really think made the team that won the league so special? Because it doesn't really matter, how you play or how bad of a footballer you are. If you win a league, especially a league in the Gambia, you must be regarded as very special. So what do you really think made the team very, very, very special? The team that won the premiership.
Yeah, so first, just to say this, we won the league in style by losing only one game before we were confirmed as champions. You know? So fortune was new in the first division. 2020, we started in 2019. The club was new, but the coach was not new in the league. Jen Juve has been, coaching in the league for quite a long time when I was going to primary school, grade 3, grade 4. So the experience was there. So in our first season, the target was to stay in the league. We did well. We finished fifth. The second season, we did well again. We finished fourth. Then after finishing fourth, we realized that now we can compete for it. So we had a mixture of talents and experienced players in the league. Brahma Jeta Bra was playing in the league for quite a long time. Patrick. We have experienced players, so that really worked for the team. The mindset change in our third season. We are not maintaining our position in the league. We are now competing to win the league. So that was the driving force. We tested the water, so Jane knew how deep the water was, so we were prepared to go all out, and it paid off eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I was thinking, winning the league, and of course Dame Juve. I know him. He's very good. He is a very special coach who has worked almost all his life, doing great things in Gambian football. So kudos to him. But I just wanted to know, winning the league always comes with expectations, from the fans, from the
Mhm.
community that you are in, and even from the sponsors.
Mm.
What what do you think happened? From the moment you won the league, did you realize how much important you were in the community that you are? And of course, in the expectations of the fans, they even wanted more. And when it comes to sponsorship, did they started to really take you seriously?
Yeah, so for us about sponsorship, the petrol station is the sole sponsor of the club. That is the Fortune Petroleum Company is the sole sponsor of the club. So 2021 was really a turning point for the club. That was the time we were well known in the country, and then since
Yeah.
then we have been most followed football club on social media in the Gambia since 2021. So that was really a turning point. So the expectation was high, and then back in the Gambia, the expectation was to go and participate in the CAF Champions League. So
Yeah.
immediately we were confirmed champions. The president registered the team to participate, and then what happened was history. We defeated at one Setif in the Gambia, 3-0
Yeah.
convincingly. We went to Algeria uh, with a man down early in the game, so we lost 3-0 again. Went for the penalty shootout, and then we lost the game. So it was a mixture of you know joy and bitterness at the end. The expectation was
Mm.
high. Unfortunately, we could not proceed. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And talking about the CAF Champions League, you represented the Gambia, of course, in the Champions League. That is also a very fine feat, for a club like Fortune Football Club. But what did that experience teach the club? In terms of the level that is required, to play in these African games, because it's not like every other team in the Gambia have tasted this privilege or opportunity. So what do you really think about the level required to compete in Africa? Because it's one thing to compete in the Gambia Football Federation league, and then it's another thing logistically to go out to other parts of Africa. to play, in the continent. So I just wanted to know, do you really think that you could have done something differently, differently now if you have the opportunity to play in the CAF Champions League? What do you really think you could do differently, in terms of the preparations, in terms of the squad buildings, and in terms of the logistics? And what do you think the level that is required is to play, continental football?
Yes, important question. So 2021, if you are following, you will know that we a very good team and competed, So many things came into play. Logistic wise, it was okay. The team was well funded. We stayed in Algeria for 10 days, I think, before the game, because we left for Algeria the very day we played the first leg in the Gambia. So logistic wise, it was okay. So many things came into play. One, we were in North Africa, playing against an experienced club that has won the Champions League twice. That is one. And then we all know Africa, if you go there, they're very hostile. That is two. And three is the influence of Gambia at that level, But this was what happened. I don't want to use that as an excuse, to be honest. It is already, but the panel, the referee were all not Africans. The Magic Commissioner was African. So it was North Africa versus West Africa. So the influence of Gambia at that level, to be improved if we want to go. And of course, our head of delegation that went with us had no influence, compared to the president of that club. So for me, I still believe this. If we had gone with Kaba as our head of delegation or Bakari Jembe as our head of delegation, what happened would not have happened. What happened because we don't have influence at that level. So many things came into play, But really, we had a good team. We competed, We played a man down. We got a red card early in the game. We survived 3-0 and then went for penalty. We lost. So still the same thing will continue. Any team that participated, any government team that participated in this competition, having a good team is one thing. Having the finance to go is one thing. But having influence at CAF level, because football now, you can win football both on and off the pitch. So many things come into play. But what we like is influence at that level. There is no influence at that level. So that was why we lost the game. It was also a hostile ground. But that is not an excuse. Football is on the take it like that.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, we all understand how it is. When these North African countries, host home games, it's always very hostile, and we have, of course, witnessed that, firsthand. So you are spot on, there. We will have a lot more questions, but I just want to ask my guys, do you have a follow-up question so far before I continue? Days, Del?
Yeah, so thank you so much, ML and Last and Day. So I want to take him back a little bit. That year they won the title at the Independence Stadium. I mean, that Fortune team was very competitive, a team that has shown real quality.
You're
I
Wali
just,
Seka. You're Wali Seka.
well, I'm gonna like it. I mean, the what kept them going, because there was a point in time the team, um, no matter what happened, this Fortune team will find a goal out from nowhere. So, what was the rationale behind the team getting that far?
Yeah, in one. Sorry.
You have a background music. I don't know if you can.
Wow, by my favorite background music.
Yeah, the Wally, lower base Wally.
But then you can go on. Emil, you can go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so I want him to repeat. I got lost.
Okay.
All right. So I
Yeah.
was saying, I
Okay.
think they got a question, Minda, or should I repeat?
Yeah,
repeat
repeat.
the
Yeah,
question.
he said you should repeat just briefly, right?
Well, just let me go straight to the point. The year you guys won the league at the stadium, I mean, a lot of things happened during the course of the struggle. A lot of people never thought that Fortune was going to win the title. But what was the secret behind Fortune going that far? Um, Especially the match they played against Walidan at the Independence Stadium. That was a
Yeah.
tough match. You remember when the head
That
coach
was the
Jane
decider.
Juve and Fodeba had a scuffle on the touchline. you know,
Yeah.
Very interesting match it was.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the decider. So like I said, maybe that was before you. Uh, in 2019 when we qualified in the league, the target was to stay in the league, and then we finished the second season. We tried and we finished fourth. So after that, we realized now we have all that it takes to compete for the league. So the third year we went all out. It was a mixture of talent and experience, and then we are very good from the beginning of the league to the end of the league. You know, so the target that year was to win the league. That was the target. That was the only thing that we had in mind. And then the president, the players, the coaches, all hands were on deck. And then Alhamdulillah, it went well for us. That was the target. The target was to win the league. So that was what motivated us. And then we really had a very good team, very good players.
Yeah.
Mm.
Base, do you have a
Yeah.
follow-up question before I continue?
My own is because the answer that he is giving is not convincing, because he is saying that year the target was to win the league. So are you trying
Yes.
to tell us since that year you guys never had a target of winning the league, because since then you have not won the league? What Dell is trying to ask is, what did you guys do that is special in that season that you won
Yeah.
the league? So because if I win the league this season, and then obviously next season my target should be to
Yeah, to retain.
to retain the title. So
Yeah.
if my aim,
In fact, the following
in
season they really struggled. They really
Yeah.
struggled the
exactly.
following.
So there must be something. Is it that okay? You guys had some good players that left the team, or other teams in the league were bad. Let's say Real de Banjul were bad. Other teams that usually fight for the title were not that good that season. There must be a spark. So we trying to ask, what's that spark?
So the
That,
spark was like I said. So maybe I can go deep. That
yeah,
is important. What you want.
yeah.
So like the first thing was winning the league was the target, right? We had young players, exact players. So that season, what we did was we had experienced players like Ibrahim Ajeta Bura, you know, and there was this guy OJ. I think he started playing in the league before I became a journalist. Omar Koroma he also joined the league, and then we had Ibrahim Sogna as well in the team. Ibrahim Sogna also played. Then in the second round, we had Ibu Sanyan Torres, who had been playing in the league before. So that was the spike, and then the president also invest. I don't want to be talking about money, 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 money. But now I think I can talk about it. So the president really invested a lot. I can remember some players will tell me in Fortune our match bonus is equivalent to other players' salary in other teams. So that really kept the team going. The players were motivated financially. The mindset was, let's go straight and win the league. So support came from all angles. So that was the target. We had very good players, very exacting players. The Lamin Sedikan Lefo, we had Bakari Jawara, Tijan Mar, Patrick Silva, a whole lot of stars, combination of stars. So the following season, obviously, we struggled because we lost some of our players. Even in the course of our preparation to participate in the CAF Champions League, two of our best players by then, Lamin Sedikan Lefo and Tijan Mar, did not participate in those games because they were out on trial. We lost some players, obviously, and then that was it. that was a bad moment. After a year after that league was a very low moment for our club. We struggled, but yeah, that is it. But like I said, the motivation was, finance was there. The players were motivated financially. They were rewarded for, you know, their performance. So that was the key. The government players, you want to motivate them, you have to pump in a lot of money to them. You know,
So
Yeah.
was that the same year that you brought in Zico?
yeah, exactly. That was the same year because at that point, like everyone knew we were going to win the league. You know, imagine we played. I think we lost only one game prior to being confirmed as champions. So Zico also played. Most of the players wanted to play for us. So that was our season. When it is your season, it is your season. Miracle comes and then miracle happen for us, and then we won the league.
So as you stand, Zico is in your technical team,
Yeah, Zico is our sporting director.
your sporting director. So
Yeah,
he's helping you guys with transfers or
yeah. Zico is helping us with transfers as well as helping us in the technical set to prepare players for the game. He is someone who has played this game, from our local league to international effort to professional level. So he is an inspiration to most of our players. In addition to that, he has been helping us even right now. He facilitated he invited agents who scouted three of our players. They are right now in Slovakia training with a second division team, and then he's been doing it. They're doing something good for the team, helping us both on transfers and also on the pitch.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Gajaga, welcome. If you're hearing us, maybe not. But yeah, if you're watching us, this is
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mohammed. I
Just
mean,
joined in. I
yeah,
don't know if you can hear me well. I don't know if my internet is okay.
yeah, we're hearing you, Gajaga. We are hearing you. You're
Okay,
welcome.
yeah. So Fortune Football Club, fantastic.
Yeah,
I watched them play of recent. They really rejuvenated the team. They brought in something new from the branding of the team in terms of jersey. I think they are one of the teams that wear one of the most beautiful jerseys in the Gambia's first division. That started with them, branding their jerseys, even sad shells. So I've seen them do that in the league. I think they're one of the first teams to do that. They play brilliant football. They've went in to sign players from various teams. In fact, there was a time, Fortune, if they want to sign your player, you struggle to keep him because what they have to offer the player in terms of bonuses, in terms of good salary, and also the environment. And lately, I've also seen them getting into player trading, having partnerships internationally with teams in the Scandinavia, teams in Eastern Europe as well. So, which is very, very good. So I'm so impressed with their model, with their style. Their president, Asandur, and some of his partners are willing to invest in the club, are willing to invest in the players, and also help change the face of Gambian First Division football, how it is played, the competitive levelness of it, and also the business approach that they've also taken. So I think
yeah,
ML, I just came in, but he must have dealt with some of these things. And the future of the club is bright. When they competed to a point, winning the league and competed in the African Champions League. So unfortunate for them after leading the first leg, I think 3-0, going away in Algeria against Anton Satif and, eventually losing. But it shows the power dynamics in African club football, how
yeah,
North African teams very strong. They are mentally, physically, financially. They have everything in their disposal. But Fortuna that year were the best team. Obviously, no doubt, deservedly won the league. And in terms of the style of football, I support Brikama United, but Fortune got them beaten both home and away. Scored brilliant goals. Yeah, fantastic team of football. I don't know what happened of recent. I think they are the team that needed to push Real de Banjul because they have the edge, they have the players, but somehow they missed out. And I think towards the last 4 or 5 games, they lost some matches, drawn some matches, dropped some points. I think that was the reason why eventually Real de Banjul deservedly won the championship. So Fortune is a brilliant team.
Incredible. So I want ML. You talk about the derby match, Fortune. It's always an enticing fixture whenever these two teams are to meet. I mean, why become a Fortune? You know, Farato
Yes.
and
So first, like that game is ML Derby because I'm from Brigama.
But then if I can just jump in here before ML comes in fact, that rivalry has even gone into the heads of journalists. Can you imagine? ML, myself, Ibrahim KB Sonko, because I and KB support Brikama United, and of course ML, being the secretary general of the club and also the one handling their media. Sometimes, it gets to a point, it gets heated, Can you imagine?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That's dangerous, man.
yeah, that the derby. I think every year we use like we will regard that game as the most important game for us in the season. So of one, we used Brikama. We are affiliated to Brikama Sports Committee. We are still affiliated. We still play Naviran there. So when through Brikama to reach at where we are from West Coast. So Fortune Brikama is always a very important. Like I said, I'm from Brikama. Is always Emer's derby. So for us, it's better we lose the league than to lose a Brikama. That is
No way.
just like Liverpool Manchester. We rather lose the league than United. But
Okay.
we have changed the narrative. We've
Yeah.
changed the narrative. Real Walidan used to be the biggest derby in Gambia, but that is no more. It is Fortune Brikama United now.
Okay, Emil. I have another question.
Okay.
Before when Fortune goes for players,
Yeah.
it's easy for Fortune to get those players because you have the money, you have to give your match allowance, as you say. But now
Yeah.
you have TMT that can do as much as you do. We have Steve Sting, what is it, BST Galaxy that can do as much as you do.
Yeah.
You understand? So, how is the market right now in terms of when you need players? Is it a bit difficult compared to the past 2-3 years, or is still the same? When you want players, you get them.
Bro, now let me tell you this for free. Even today, we cannot compete with any team if you want any player in the Gambia. Even right now, I can tell you that for
Even
most of
TMT.
bro. But where is TMT? We don't compete with TMT. TMT, no. We don't. Oh, forget about TMT. Let's say, look, for the past year, I was appointed as a secretary in 2022. Most of the players, the big players that we have in our team, we have them for free. We are not boasting, but I'm just telling you, when we need we have a project, right? Every year we market our players. That is every year. Since 2018, it has been like that. It's either 1 or 2 players will travel. So that is a good example for us. That is one thing. Another thing is we pay our players salaries, or let me say allowance, because we don't have a professional league. So we give them allowance. We give them much. We can provide for any player in the right now. When we compete with teams for players, we will get.
The reason why I asked, because BST Galaxy, they are also selling players.
Yeah, but
they are paying them salaries.
With all due respect to my president Omar Jario, we are bigger than BST.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we are bigger than TMT. We are bigger than I'm just trying to be humble, bro. We are bigger than we are bigger. Like I just said, all Gambia will even blame us for not winning the league because they believe we're the only team that can compete Real Banjul in the league for the past 3 seasons. So that is a message, But
So
the thing is, So we are trying to change our policy now. We used to have players in the league, big players, we gather them to play. But for now, we have changed policy because we want to focus more on young players, where the market needs young players, players under the age of 18, 19, 20. So this is in our approach, and I don't want journalists to put pressure on us. We are not competing for this year. We are on the transition. Kajaga, so
Wait.
this is
I mean,
So you want to
I
tell
just
us
want.
you want to tell us your team is not good enough this season to compete for the league?
not like a different thing. We are good enough to participate in the league, but we don't want to pressurize ourselves. We have a different mindset. That is why, if you are following Gambian league, most of our players are leaving. We are selling most of our good players, senior players. We are selling them. You know, Ibu Sanya is gone. Adama Kante is gone. Jawara is gone. You know, just yesterday, Alubari also is gone. So we want to use young players instead of the established players because we want to, penetrate the market again.
But would,
So
would
I mean,
that
So,
not
so
affect?
yeah, go ahead, Fadera.
so I remember, is it the year that you won the league or after that year when you brought in former, professional players to come and play back in the league?
Yeah, even right now, professional players played in Europe and they are back in the Gambia. They all want to play for Fortune. You know, they all want to play for Fortune even right now. So we've been doing that, but we're still going to do that. Like I said, this year for next week, we are using a different app. We are going to have experienced players in the league, but it is not going to be like last year and the year before last. We will have a quality of senior players competing in the league, but we want players that we can market because we've been finishing in the top three FF league, and then what we receive is less than $1 million. We will sell one player, we'll have $11 million. So you cannot compare, us using the market to have more money competing in the league with respect to our league.
Yeah, amazing. Modulamin Drame, Secretary General of Fortune Football Club. If you're just joining us right now, this is the Fan Zone, and of course, we come your way every Saturday at 7 o'clock in GMT. So, moving forward, Modulamin, we have had teams that have been here before you, and when we ask them about their project, when we
Yeah,
ask them about what their team is all about, and all
yeah.
you hear is, we are, everyone sells the club in a different way, but at the end of the
Okay.
day, the destination is the same. We are the best in the country.
Mm.
We are within the league, but I haven't heard someone so honest as you are right now, that this season you're going into a season and beforehand that you're not winning the league, and you're not even competing for the league. You are just participating, and that's it. That's really bold, and I can just commend you for that. I don't know if it is a tactical statement, because I understand that you don't want to be put, all the pressure that comes with, competing for a league title. So it can be a tactical statement that, you want your peace of mind, during the whole season. But obviously, with your pedigree in Gambian football, you know, it speaks volume. So for me, I think it is always, it doesn't really matter what club or what team. I think everybody going into a season, you have to have the mentality of getting into a tournament, with the main purpose of winning it. But it takes me to my question now.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people have been here before and they said, if we come and knock at your door, we will get you because we have
Mhm.
the money, we have the project, we have, you know, everything in place to just get any player that we want. The same thing they said for BST Galaxy, the same team, you know, the same thing TMT Football Club has said, you know, last week. What or how does your scouting or academy system work in practice? You know, you see me today and you want me, and I am, you know, playing, you know, for another team. And yes, you know that you will get me, you know, come
Yeah.
what may, because you are Fortune Football Club. How do you really get into these kind of things? You know, do you go in and offer millions to the player, or do you just first of all start to talk to the family, you know, to talk to the player, or is it just pure, you know, project? And you know, as you call your team, it's a talent hub. You
Mhm.
know, does that
Yeah.
really sell itself to the players? So we want to know, in the minds of the football clubs, and as you as a secretary general, you are privy to these things. How do you go about this? You know, a transfer in the Gambia. How does it really work? Fortune wants me. I want you to, talk us through how this process is for you. What do you do? Offer millions, talk to the family, or just, you know, everything?
So first we are a club. You know, we don't go to your family, talk to your family like that. If you play for another club, if you have an interest in you, uh, the first question would be, do you have a contract with your club? You know, so that will lead us to our next move. If you have a contract with your club, what we do is we write to your club and express our interest. So wait for a reply. But so if the team, sometimes the team will tell us A, B, or Z is not for sale. But if the player is
Yeah,
interested, the player force his way out to join the team. We don't force players. We don't offer millions. We motivate our players. We give them allowance, like I said, because we are not a profession. We don't have a professional league. We give them match bonuses.
yeah,
We don't offer players millions. We have a salary gap. You know, we have a salary gap. We don't want players to use Fortune as a means of getting money just because Fortune they give us money. Let me go to Fortune. No, that is not what we have. So we have a very good project. We have an academy team that participates or plays Nawetan in Brikama every year. And then they are also going to participate in the third division qualifiers in the West Coast region as well. Last year we started, we could not go, so this year also we are going back. And then we have a lot of scouts. We have the sporting director who is a scout. We have the technical team. You have the president, even myself. When I see a good player around that end, what I do is I recommend, because that is not my area. I will recommend the
yeah,
player to the coach. Coach, I think this is a good player. Maybe you may want to see him play and see if he's really a type of player, you know, that we can have. You know, so that is our project. We have an
yeah.
academy team, and the plan in the near future is to have our own sporting complex, you know, with a hotel sort of where players will stay. Right
Yeah.
now we have a house where most of our players stay. They stay together in our football house, you know. So we have an academy, you know, we have scouts. So that is how we approach. But we don't offer players millions. We don't, you know. And I know other
No.
teams they telling you if you knock on your door. Man, some of these teams wrote to us. They want our players, but our players don't want them. So it's funny how, but I don't know how it works. You know, I don't know how, you know, it works. But for us, this is how we
But
do it. Where
yeah.
family and
Mm.
if the
Yeah.
player
I.
if the player is a minor, we
Yeah.
talk to the family. You know, we have to engage the
Mm.
guy.
But yeah, I think it is also important for us to clarify here. If a player is under contract, of course, absolutely, the official route is, like you said, writing a letter, try to inquire the duration of the contract. I know, we all know what release clauses are. I don't know if they have it in Gambia. I don't know, but as we say, there's a price on the head of every player. So let's say you approach, another Gambia first division team for a player that you're really interested in, for a player that will improve your squad for the upcoming season. Just for example, and then the player is under contract, but the player have a price. Wouldn't you buy him if the club agrees to let him go because the player's valuation is, let's say, $1.5 million? You said you have never bought a player in the millions. Haven't you really done that? Bought a player from another team. Haven't you done that all the years of your existence, buying a player from another first division team?
No, we have been doing that.
Yeah, and the valuation is not even up to $1 million or like half a million.
Half a million Gambian player, half a million. Buying a player from our club in the Gambia. No,
yeah, I don't know. $half a million, to be honest, is nothing. If the player is good, it's just a valuation.
Yeah, but let me put on a different lens here, right?
Yeah.
Our Gambian league does not want it. We spend something million in our league the whole season, and what you get in return, even when you win the league, is 1 million. So we don't spend million. We don't even spend 50,000 on a player, 20,000 or 30,000 buying a player in the Gambia. We don't do. I'm just being honest with you. We don't do it.
Yeah.
But you said you've never bought a player for
because so if I can just jump in here. Alas, I'm sorry, not to cut you. If I can just jump in here.
No, it's okay.
I know ML is professional. Fortune would approach the player, they would write a letter and inquire about the player's contract and all of those things. But I know there are first division teams where their club president or their club CEO or an official will approach the player by going to the player's family, buy a bag of rice for the player's family, and then give them some money just to lure the player into the team. So some players, that's how they are snatched. Even if the player is under contract, he would just go to that first division team where he's on the contract to say, I am terminating my contract because these people, they're offering me good money, or they're offering me this, or they're offering me that. So some of them, that's how they operate. I know for Fortune, of course, they would have to operate like a proper functioning club, how they operate. Emily explained it a little bit. But for a Gambian player, I can't remember a player who is even signed up to $50,000. Even maybe 40,000, 30,000, in fact. Yeah, at most, I think 25,000. Yeah.
40,000, yes. We sold players to a club in the Gambia for 40,000.
Yeah. Even 50,000. I heard of a player that has been sold for 50,000.
This is very.
I can't hear
sad.
It's
very sad. It's very sad. Because this is the reason why I was asking, because I don't really know how, because I was thinking, to be honest, there might be Gambian players that are playing in a first division league that are worth $1 million, that are worth maybe 1.5 million. This is my own thinking, because probably I just value the players higher than they are. But $50,000, $40,000 buying a player for that amount, I cannot understand that. I really cannot understand how you can buy a player for that amount of money, like 40,000, 20,000, 25,000. If the player definitely is a player that will come and add value to your team, then I really think it should be more than that. But so
maybe ML should come into this, because the league doesn't have the financial.
They don't have the records.
Yeah, so.
So I don't know whether
but if you are saying that there is no player that they bought for more than 50,000, which means in Gambia there is no player that a club bought for more than 1,000 euro. 50,000 is less than 600 euros. So because I still cannot get this because I was in the same direction with Alasan. Perhaps maybe it's 100,000, 200, 300. But you are telling me not even 50, less than 600 euros. You can get a player for 100 euro. You can get a player for 50 euro. I mean,
but we can buy a team in Gambia.
Yeah, you can buy
if that's how cheap it is.
Okay, let me
maybe the operational cost will be the issue, but
it's only the operational cost that is big, but to buy players, we can have a whole squad.
Yeah, so players are worth
go
more
on,
than in the Gambia, but that is if the player is going outside the Gambia. Clubs are selling players for 175,000 euros, 165,000 euros from the Gambia to foreign clubs. But the reason why we can't buy players within from one club to another in the Gambia for that huge amount of money is because what do we get in return in the Gambian league? It is easier. No, it is easier. Now let me come. It is easier if you're outside to say, it is nothing. But if you are into club administration, your source of income, is not enough for you to even pay players. You have to pay these players, buy stuff for them, give them allowance, give them transport fare. So only few clubs in the Gambia have sponsors. Some of these clubs don't even have the financial muscle to pay their players.
Yeah.
Some clubs, some community clubs, executives will use their money, starve their family sometimes, and pay the player's salary in the Gambia. So our league is not marketable. Our league is not marketable. No fortune being a club owner in the Gambia as of now. Maybe in the future. If you see fortune buying players, paying them salary, is because we have someone behind us who is willing to invest his money in the club. You see TMT doing that because you have someone who has a business financing the team. You see BST, there is someone who has the financial muscle to sponsor the team. You see Real de Banjul, there are 3 people that are financially okay and they have been in this game for decades. And they can, and they're one of the biggest club in the country that sells players every year. But look at other teams. How many clubs can do that in the Gambia? Only a few clubs can do that. So the problem is our league is not professional, and then our league cannot even attract sponsors. As of now, unfortunately, the federation can only convince Baluwo to sponsor the league, and the winner goes home with $1 million. So even the league is not, attracting, sponsors. So how do we expect clubs? Some clubs can do that, but only a few clubs can do that. So that is the problem,
I mean, let me come. You see, there's investment and there's return on investment.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, if you go to Real de Banjul and I'm giving you an example, and buy a player for 100,000, you are not essentially buying that player to win the league. You understand? You are buying that player. If you know that the player has prospect, if I buy this player for 100,000 in the short term, let's say in 1 year, I can sell this player out for 150,000 euros. That's a huge return on investment. I think this one of the misconceptions that the teams have in Gambia. Why will I buy this for 100,000? The league is less than 1 million. No, you are not buying this player to win the league. Essentially, you are buying it for an investment. I buy this for 100,000. I'm selling it for 200,000 euros in the next 1 year. You understand? But listen, you see all these clubs that are coming from Europe coming to buy a player for 150,000 euros. In 1 year, they are selling the player for 1 million euros.
I agree.
They made a margin of 850,000.
Yeah.
If Brighton are investing that much, let's say, for example, Minty, because they expect in 2-3 years, a top club in the Premier League will come for Minty and they can sell it for 100 million euros or 80 million euros. Meanwhile, they bought Minty for less than 15 million. So it's the investment aspect that you have to look out for. If you see I'm just giving you a free ad. If you see a player that has potential in the league, even if the club says it's 100,000, sit as a team and discuss this player. Can we sell this player in 1 year? Yes, we can sell him. How much? We can sell him for 100,000 euros. We are buying for $100,000. How much is $100,000? $100,000 is less than 1,500 euros. We are basically making a profit of 150,000 euros within 1 year. You understand? You know,
So,
and
So
you are
guys,
right. You are right
basic,
when you say Gambia don't have sponsors. We don't have sponsors. So these are the little things that you should look into. That's what Real de Banjul they are doing. Real de
no,
Banjul they are bringing these players and they're selling them.
yeah, but can I come in?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure,
yeah,
sure.
I even
So,
have a different opinion based as a
let,
point, but I
no,
think
let me
the reality, he's not
let,
seeing the realities on the ground. Maybe,
let
Yeah.
By ML,
yeah,
ML
Fadera,
Noir.
yeah.
let's wait ML to come in, and then you can you
yeah,
can continue later.
I agree with you 100%. What you have in mind, that's what we have. I can remember last year, we offered a team, like we spoke to the president. We told him we can pay 100,000 for your player, and you'll have a sell-on fee on the class because we believe within 1 year we
That
can
would
sell
have been
that.
a record, 100,000.
Yes. Why
Yeah.
we are not doing that? Base, we don't have a professional league. One,
Mm.
two, the clubs depend solely on the qualification of our under 20 to AFCON and the World Cup to sell our players. If not for under 20 AFCON and World Cup, your players have to go for trial before they sign for any club. Our league is not a professional league, remember. So you can't be spending 100,000 on 3 or 4 players, and you'll have to wait for 5 years, 4 years to sell that player. We don't have the market, bro. You have to sacrifice. Your players have to go for trial. All the teams that you are talking about in the Gambia, most of our players have to go for trial first before they sign any contract. So it's risk. What you have, what you are saying is very right, is very true, but we don't have the market. If a player pass under 20 years here, you cannot sell the player, but the player will not be able to play for the under 20. So if the player is not able to play for the under 20, it will be very difficult for you to sell a player playing in our league without being featured in the under 20 or under 20 World Cup. Now look, when you look at the under 20 World Cup, all our players that participated either on in the WAF under 20 World Cup, sorry, WAF under 20 AFCON, we sold all those players.
yeah.
But already they were on the spotlight. But right now you cannot do that. You have to, your player has to go for trial before he signed for any club. We don't have the market. That is the problem. If the market is there, we can do this. We are selling players for over 11 million for 175,000 euros, and then we also have sell-on clauses. Some of our players, if they move to a club, we claim for training compensation, not fortune. We still have all those things, but the market is not there. That is the problem. If the market is there, bro, obviously, we'll have companies scrambling to sponsor the league. Sponsors will come, partner with fortune, but that is not happening because, even the visibility in the league is not there. So where is the visibility? Fortune as a club, we have the materials. We can stream our games. We have the cameras. We have an AI camera detector now. You know, we can stream our games on our social media handles. But we cannot do that now because the federation has a contract with FIFA Plus,
FIFA,
and
FIFA Plus.
so the visibility is not there. We don't have the market. That is the problem. You know,
Mm.
I agree with all that you said. To be honest, I agree with all that you said. But we don't have the market, brother.
Yeah. So, like
Yes.
you,
You can come in then.
like last, can I come in?
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
So I think ML has just nailed it. What Base said is very, very true. He's right.
Yeah.
He's looking at it at a professional lenses, and which I think is really, really true.
Mm.
But the sad reality is our league, before we start realizing some of these things, is that the league has to be a professional league first. I think if the league is a professional league, I mean, the clubs that are part of that professional league can sacrifice to buy players with a certain amount of money, knowing that even if they buy the player 1 year or 2 year, they can in turn sell the player abroad. And when the league is a professional league, you can sell a player with a good amount of money somehow. But
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
amateur league, I mean, these players have been given for free. If they go, you depend on the sell-on clause until, or some of them until they got a professional contract. So, and it's sad. A league that does not pay players, how, not many
Yeah.
businessmen will, invest heavily to put a certain amount of money on players, because why would you put 100, 200,000 without knowing the fact that perhaps there's a risk factor involved? The player that you might buy, he might underperform, he might have certain injuries that you might not be able to control or to take care of. So I think some of these factors play a key role. And the only way we can move forward is the federation need to make sure that the league is a professional. They have been singing this, they said this 2026 now, but this has been another ring tune, because you cannot become a professional league when you don't even have grounds to play matches. When you have overdraft in your account. I mean, there are so many things going on. So,
but having, you have to, the Gaipa Act has to be amended. Football has to be an investment zone. If we want our league to be professional, so it is not only the ground. It has so many components that needs to be fixed.
It has to be a business, force. A business where you can play players' salary. You have your secretariat. You have contracts given to players, and their wages should be, because that's why you can do your players. Because
man always I have different views, because man, if investment regular the whole.
No, you are right 100%. I agree with you.
The thing is, this is a win-win situation. Professional GFF, they will have more sponsors. If sponsors come, Halibo Fala Nekari them, Nanyo benefit. GFF. Two. If Sunega professional league, ni muna jël player, clubs yi muna jël player di len jaay Europe. Ñan ñoy am profit ci lolu nonu du clubs yi. Clubs yi then the clubs yi suñu amé xaliss dañoo investi player local players yi mo. Understand? So nga gis legi player club to club within the Gambia, xaliss bi dafa ek. Mun na dem sa club dem jëna ben player 300,000 500,000 because am nañ
clubs yi ñu ngi overtry. Imagine if you ask ML, FIFA preparatory money bunde jok pour GFF sédala ko ci club ci. Lego da nga play season bi je do am sa pass bi.
But for us, if actually the amount of money that we spend on the team every year internally, you wouldn't believe. Sometimes we giving only 200,000 as club support, 200,000. That's one month salary for all the players. 200,000, less than, not even the whole team. So the thing is, we have an issue. Most of the teams will tell you we are selling our players, but most of them are losing the players for free for the first transfer. They only depend on sell-on clause.
Sell-on clause, definitely.
Yeah. So teams are struggling, to be honest.
So that's why
that is really sad, because man don't forget man me talk fee. To be honest with you, man my forget. So man day ne wow come BI you wanna guy Europe ni guy am team and all that. Man, I was thinking, to be honest with you, I was thinking minimum €1 million, for these players.
No, last
minimum. I was thinking, like a minimum €1 million goes to the club. That is like $11 million. I was thinking this was the case, but I was not thinking, okay, Lee is for free, because it doesn't really make sense, to be honest. It doesn't really make sense at all. Because
more than
the teams in Europe, they have money. But what you're telling me, €100,000 for a club in Europe? No, it's nothing.
No, why the thing is, in Gambian context, Soko Hole one league B is not a professional league. So let's say, for example, so a player €200,000. Soko combat in Gambia, you will have about $17 million.
It's big.
That's $17 million. That 17 million is equivalent to a win league be 17 years.
Exactly.
One player ngajai bena player €200,000 is equivalent to win league 17 good years straight. 1 million. You understand? So I understand my point, and it's a good business strategy. You focus more on selling. You focus more on selling than winning the league.
You sold a player for a huge amount of money. That is more than 10 million Gambian dollars. A player, $10 million Gambian dollars. Teams are trying. What I said is, person leaving, going to Scandinavia, this second, third division are leaving for free for the first transfer. But not all the players. So clubs are also
Yeah.
selling players. And MLBI is someone, for me, I call him the most productive government football agent. You know,
He is definitely.
he's the
Yeah.
he's doing really well, you know. But the thing is, our league struggling, bro. You know,
Yeah. It has to be better. It has to be better.
market is not there.
The league has to be better. Mm.
Yeah, the market is there. And the visibility is important. So for me, I can take this year for free. You know, my major is journalism and communication. You know, and I'm very interested in PR. You know, I
Yeah.
believe federation has, you know, a business that they can sell to even government. Bro, if I were at the GFF, even the government can sponsor our league. Government can at least every year give GFF $50 million for our league. We need to do something. Teams are
Yeah.
struggling.
It's very
But
You know,
possible. It's very possible.
the point
football is
is,
the thing is
No, I think the thing is
no,
we will also have GFF here and listen to their own side of anger sometimes too. If you are not within the system, don't want to understand
Yeah.
some of the things that are going on. We invite GFF, you know, they also
base,
explain their side of the
base,
story, and then you know.
base.
no
Hama
based.
ñëw. Hanga,
We need
hanga
for
bàyyi
me.
ML mu daan.
Yeah.
ML go on.
No, for me, I'm too honest. Certain things I just cannot hide. I just
No,
speak up.
yeah, you're free, boy. You're free, bro.
Football is creating a lot of employment for a lot of young people in the Gambia. How many clubs do we have in the first division? How many young people are employed by those clubs? So imagine
Yeah.
if the government is serious about, you know, creating employment opportunities and ending underemployment in the Gambia, they have to sponsor our league. You know, every year give 50 million to GFF. Let them have a special organizing committee where, because the committee has to be accountable to whatever is spent. It should be a special, you know, committee that runs our league different from what FIFA or CAF is pumping into GFF. So for me, I believe
Yeah.
even the local government councils, imagine this grand issue. KMC built too many stadiums in 5 years. Brikama Area Council building too many stadiums in 5 years. You know, Kerawan Area Council in North Bank, Masponko, you know, we will not be crying for grounds right now. So I believe the government and even the local government councils can help the federation to ease the load, because it's kind of difficult, you know. Football owners, this club owners are struggling and they are trying. They are one of the most valuable players in the league. But you have
Yeah,
the players.
I know the councils can do better. But the issue we have in Gambia, but Gambia don't they politicize. Everything is politicized. So that I think that's one of the the main thing that is dragging us back as a country. Because let's say, for example, government jail ban land allocate council if someone get build stadium or park or whatever, you know. Do a football, so why boy, you have so many parks, you can use it for different facilities. You understand? The government can allocate, you know, council bill, you know, you give it to the community, you use you employ 2 or 3 people, you have income you manage facility, why everything is politicized, you know. So
No,
Yeah.
no, jinga lolo nekk di wax ni the sports levy. I mean, hanga so waxe jeexat nga wax la tamit. In 2017 or 18 thereabout, I remember covering some of these, I mean, inauguration, I mean, Tech Foundation Pro build a mini stadium in Manduar, Janjambure, through the sports levy, etc., etc. The contracts given to people, guy mess up here. So, like, I'm talking about, it's not even GFF, the sports, I mean, government boom
Is the ministry? Yeah.
but that's the accountability part that
the budget of some of those, you know, substandard mini stadiums are not even up to $9 million. I remember Amna Boham the Windamon LRR, is around 7 point something million dollars.
Yeah,
Just to,
Julafa,
yeah, Julam Family Stadium. I mean, but the problem is okay, let's look at this in
and
the other way around.
it's the only completed project among all the projects. Fulabandang has failed.
Yeah,
Failed, you know.
definitely.
yeah
So
Yeah.
del
I think,
luma la nekk di
okay,
wax Mota manala come these little things, those no the drag as a country. You understand? If you give somebody a contract, it's legally binded. You give somebody a contract of 9 million, manang mo dem the project, mo jël xaliss bi dem tek ko jabar, mo dem jëna monto. Yobu ko police mo fay xaliss bi boy. Daf ko wara fay. Understand? No, haral ma ñore, ma jox Alassane Balo 9 million contract pour mu dem sa pack. Alassane jël moto jël mulifim dem taka jabar. Def programme 5 days dem jëna moto dara génnuti su ma joxee del tan la dafa Alassane def nako dara génnu ci di waaye
loolu la
9 million contract bi lifin Alassane mu ngi mail tout del su ma ko joxee contract del na xam ne maa ngi bàyyi suma doom bi si kër bi suma defaulté si contract bi man te damaa dem fekk ji Alassane that's how you build a contract. Understand? So more always is not always then they blame GFF tamit waaye GFF tamit anga ñoon tamit the thing is loolu laa doon last time moo tax that's the essence of IPRO da ngaa génne léegoo nga seetal leneen things yi understand waaye the thing is boy da ngaa jox nit contract boy 9 million kii mu jël jokki 1 million comme Osusu boy séddale ko jëlal bi contract baa ngi taxaw kenn xamul soo laajte kii mu ne la kii moo amul contract bi kii laa ko joxoon boy we don't need explanation, we need result.
So you know what will happen? 2 years ago I was a very active sports journalist. I visited all these mini stadiums. You talk to the minister, what the minister will tell you, it will take a long process. We have to write to Minister of Justice. It will take time. They have to, give us legal advice, So the process will take over 1 year. Yeah. That's what the minister will tell you, And sadly, most of these projects are given to Gambians.
Yeah.
And some of these people, I'm seeing them now. They will share everything that Bakari Baji wrote on Facebook. Sadly, some of them, I know them. They are the mouthpiece of Bakari Baji now, and they are young people, not even old people. They are young people. So we have so many things wrong in this country, but I don't want to go deep into that.
Well, that's the problem. I don't want to go into details. So the problem will never be solved. I know it's not your domain. I know it is not your domain. We'll bring the right people here, and they'll talk about it.
No, this is not even GFF. This is government.
No, understand. No, I understand. So we have a representative from the Ministry of Youth and Sport, if possible. Then they talk about it.
So they may Serekunda Central, Mboyo Field. Ganyulen sample a very good mini stadium.
Yeah, manager's minister Mungo share. I saw it.
That is the best successful mini stadium. Bohamne minister will be super happy. I mean, Bohamne. I think all those stadiums you have the guys. Yeah. I mean, I think you remember you covered when they were laying the foundation of that stadium.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that is because the project manager is from Kiang. So Kiang
oh. You are right.
Why Alasan time says even so program where time get them there. Nagala.
Well, Emil, thank you very much. Just for your wrap up, you have talked about, how Fortune started and became a success story. And you also talked about, how you go about with, your recruitment, the policies, and all of the, things that are involved in it. Ba pare wax nga fi tamit loo xam ne man pour man I think it's something loo xam ne it's very sad. Wax nga ne probably am na yenn teams yoo xam ne sax or club owners yoo xam ne dinañ staff lekk seen family. I know you don't mean it like that directly, but these are things that are happening. You staff your family food just because of you have to pay your players or you need to give your players fares because you cannot run a football club. Man lulu dama foog ne obviously there are teams in the Gambia yoo xam ne ñu ngi go through this. Clubs owners ñu ngi go through things that are similar. And pour man, it's not really fair. Football is business, and before you get into it, you have to be capable financially to be able to know what you're getting into. Because football, nekut lundaw. Low fast pen, it's like in the millions, like a whole season. There is no football club in the first division league that is spending below $1 million. Just with the administration cost and the logistics and all that. $1 million is too even little. But let's just say minimum 1 million you are spending on logistics and all that. I know that's not really the case because 1 million lulu dafa over now. So man, I just want people to think, if you're getting into something, if you're really investing into something, you need to weigh the pros and the cons. You need to know what are the advantages and the disadvantages of what I'm getting into. But most of the people, they just want to buy a football club, but they don't really have the financial muscle to be able to keep the clubs or the club afloat. And that is really not fair. Not fair to yourself, not fair to the club, and not even fair to your family. So finally, ML, bala nga wrap up, I just wanted to ask you this. Ngane yen, you don't have the exposure because the Gambian league is not, is not streamed, or maybe it is. I don't know. Um, why before ngina muna jai player, the player must likely be in the under 20 or in the under 17 before ngin ko muna jai. But you as the Secretary General, you know, what are you really doing, in that regard to see at least my team, that is Fortune Football Club, even if our players don't go to the under 20, but I will make them seen, and make them seen. It doesn't have to be so hard. Social media today is skyrocketing. Social media is selling, a lot of pallets,
Yeah.
this day and age. So I know probably you have an Instagram, you have a Facebook, you have a YouTube also. If you don't, why not, try to get all of these canals, all of these channels, to try and sell your players, because you never know who is watching some of your players on YouTube, just like really short, content, of your best players. It works, because we are in the day and age of social media. It sells you faster than you think. So you as a Secretary General, are you doing this, because you're in the communication, department, you can create some contents and all that. Probably that is in the media department, but you can tell them, So are you doing something to try and help your players to at least be seen, if not on the 20 or on the 23 or on the 17? Are you doing something, on social media, just to, because we need this. We want all the Gambian teams to have social media platforms where they will be showcasing their talents. They have their own websites, because I think this has to be like the basics, the minimum for every football club in the Gambia. You must have your website, you must have your social media, clean, neat, and ready to sell your players, because you never know who's watching and ready to pounce, on these young talents.
Yeah. So you are right. We are doing all this. In fact, we are doing more than what you suggested. We are active in the social media. We are the most followed football club in the Gambia online, and we are one of the few clubs that records all our games. We record all our games, and then we prepare highlights for all our players.
But other teams have said so that they record all of their games. So
Uh,
you're not the first one.
to be, no, to be honest, for us,
Yeah.
we stream our games live on our Facebook page. Just go to our Facebook page.
Okay.
We stream until GFF signed a contract with FIFA Plus. So aside from that, we have our YouTube channel. We have all these things, and then we have We used to have VO in the past 2 years, but now we have a new camera, an AI detector, an AI camera. We have that. So we are partnering with
Yeah.
iCall.
What does that do? I don't understand an AI camera. Explain
Yeah,
to the viewers that don't understand like
no,
myself. AI.
yeah,
What does that do?
no. It's like it's a camera that
Yeah.
follows players. Like you don't even have to be controlling the camera everywhere.
Yeah.
The will follow the ball. So, and then after the game, the camera will also prepare highlights and analyze the game. The
Okay.
player, the
That's
the the,
good.
the distance covered, the number of passes. The camera can detect that. So we have the partnership with Eyeball. All our games are uploaded on that platform. So Eyeball is working with agents. So these agents, anytime we upload our games, these agents will, watch our games, and then if they're impressed with any player, then they will contact us. So we are doing extremely well in our players. The president has been inviting agents to come here. If you've been following our Facebook page, even in the past year, the president went on European tour, had meeting with teams. We want to establish partnership with teams in Europe. So we are definitely doing that. The last player that we saw did not play in the under 20 in the under 20 AFCON. He was sold directly from the club, and that gave us a huge amount of money. 3 of our players right now, they are outside in Slovakia. They were scouted here. We had visitors, we had agents who came here, scouted the players, that impressed with them, and they took them to Slovakia. So they are going to different clubs. We're doing extremely well in that area. But like I said, the challenge is we don't have a professional league. So you have to have agents to come here. They will scout the players. And after scouting the player has to go for trial. But those clubs, they don't have the chance to watch the player play live. Sometimes you can send them videos. You can prepare a very good video for a player, for a team, but the clubs will want to see the player play live. So meaning the player has to go for trial for some time before the club will sign the player. So that has been the challenge, but I can tell you for free that most of the clubs in the league are looking up to us with regards to media and then how we market our players. We record all our games, and then we are doing extremely well on that part, but the challenge has been the market, the visibility. I think I will still appeal to GFF if they can allow us to stream our games live on our page, because so many people have access to Facebook page than the FIFA Plus link to watch the games, especially if you don't have a strong connection. So that the visibility has been the challenge, but we are trying to maneuver the situation, and do what is best for the club. All our players, they all have highlights on our YouTube channel. If we need anything, you go to our YouTube channel, you will see our players highlight. We have our players on Eyeball, and we are also planning on have our players on the transfer market in Google.
And then ML was saying ML was saying that these players go on trials, when an agent spots them. I just wanted to know, finally, from my own part, I just wanted to know, when an agent spots a player that they probably want to see live play, is it the agent that sponsors the trip and the well-being of the player, or does that have to fall on the club itself in the Gambia? Do you have to foot the bills and everything? Who does that?
So these agents, like, I think football agent work is also like a business sort of. If the agent they see potential in you, they can even fund everything. But most of the time the clubs will do. But they will have to watch the highlight first, and they will see a glimmer of something in you that will attract them to at least invite you over to play. So most of the times, the teams will do that. Most of the time.
So the teams, so it's the team that foot the bills. So that's clear.
Most of the times.
Okay, go on, base.
My point is, if you want GFF to allow you to stream those games, it will defeat the purpose, because even in the Premier League or all these professional leagues, they don't allow that. The one do one way, you people need to strategize, make network. Your network determines your net worth. Understand? Try as much as possible. You make network with most of these football agents. You cannot rely on the 17, on the 20. I am telling you this for free. Even national team, you cannot rely on that. Make sure to sell players. You can sell players without on the 17. You can sell players without on the 20. Try as much as possible. Not even 1, 2. You have options of agents. Let's say Mansuma Ame video. Masian ko Alasan as an agent. Alasan is not okay with the player. Masian ko Del might be okay. Even the British transfer market, just a new player, then why they were not interested. Understand? Why si Del buga ko sign. Understand? Lord of them say market. Why market you cannot rely on the 17 on the 20 pour nga player. You also
of recent lu nekk di xew over the last 2 years or so, a lot of clubs have this connection with agents. Then they wanna invite agents in your city every now and then to organize trials, to invite clubs.
Exactly.
But I think so. Remember the other time BI was saying that Fortune has done that. We have seen other clubs ñoo xam ne gars am nañ connection bi, di ko def agency tamit dañ ko dee mën a def ñoo xam ne Gambian agents la wala scout leen invite ñoo xam ne ñu ngi outside pour ñëw to see some of these players, because I think that is the only way out, because not everybody, for example, like this 2025 calendar year, it's look like more of a catastrophic year for the Gambia. Under 17 qualified, under 20 qualified on the Ben major tournament. The senior national team qualified, under 23 qualified. So, meaning our chances of our players playing in major competitions, whether Africa or world competition, do So, like you are talking about now, we are only waiting on the next upcoming qualifiers, being it under 17, under 20, 23, or national team. So that's a long time. But the good thing is that what we are seeing, a lot of agents, Gambia, it seems like it's a big hub now. Every now and then you are seeing clubs inviting agents coming to the Gambia, to do trials or to see some of the players. And so they invite clubs participate. They invite clubs, which I think is a very good advantage, because I don't think the federation can attract, bro. If the league munta am sponsor, when nawetan we am sponsors will go to places where guiding muna am visibility. Visibility is the big problem.
Yeah.
You cannot put your money in a league bohamne billboard kese mo fa neka less than 100 people ñoko setan.
What I was saying, we should promote community football. Understand? Boy, so I'm a community team, so them play football.
So unfortunately, soon football model be soon setup be dafa defeat somehow, because melon bu njëkka the most powerful people ñoo xam ne ñoom ñoo am xaalis ñoom ñoo jéngu gaay dugal si football. It's not more of a community base. So don't community base la, just like comme Senegal nu mel wala yeneen dëkk yi. I mean, you only go and watch base because dañ ko xam. Waaye su dee base sa koñ la nekk wala team bi sa koñ la nekk ñëpp ay gën a dem seetaan. Sometimes some people don't feel that love or sense of belonging. Like when Real is playing, dañoo ne waay ñan ñooy Real. But when you watch Brigham and they play in Brigham, hey, these people, they are diehard.
They are part of the community. It's just like now, and everybody goes,
Yeah.
Mang la wax ne toj bi dafa des. Understand? Xam naa ne setup bi dafa waaye Gambia still naa ñu nga Steve Biko timi bakaw la boy. Understand? Yeah, naka turat sa Fortune timi farato la. Understand? Fortune rek neka team bir farato si first division. Lu gaay mëna def moy génné len ngeen dem nit yi ci community bi wax leen ne team bi yéna ko mom li timi farato la. Understand? Lego len season wala mo start nga print t-shirt wala jersey nga joko ay laissé top 100 fans nga joko len sen t-shirt. Understand? Match mo am ngay ni gele tek yobu gele mi yobu la ci lifin bi. Because most of the people you xamantene ñu ngi dem setan match. Boy, don't am pass bi every day di fay pass di dem. Understand? You have to strategize. Why
so some of these clubs are doing that.
Yes. Some of these clubs are doing that. Some. Your Fortune su ñu di def lo lool. Fortune ci boy. Boy football halis la. Gambia come on, I can tell you that for free. If you put 100 countries still this legi nga ne mané ban country mo gëna nek least developed in terms of football, Gambia la mo nek. Boy, ya nga gis ne nga nit ya nga jëna player you have to business investment la. Understand? It's not that okay when you invest right now you will see the result right now. You can invest right now ya nga gis the long term in the next 5 years, in the next 6 years, in the next 7 years. You are looking at the long term. Understand? So lola boy Gambia suñ toge every time ñu la wone team bi amuñ doole team kala ñu am doole boy we are in 2025 boy next in the next 2 months nga duga 2026 so ñun kala ñoo pare every time you know like amuñ doole. If you don't have the thing is, and one thing I must say Lucy Gambia in terms of investment ak you know partnership guide ko de ko consider so xamé né yo amulo doole be pour solda lolu yépp look for partners jëlal 10% ci team bi nga ne ko ne kay ñu nekk partners mo jox la 10% ci team bi so amé 10% ci team bi suñ jaay li nga explain na ko lu mo am understand you have so many business people ya xamantene ñoñu nga football tamit the thing is let me tell you one thing about business and investment dañ la dé wone any business that you don't have idea do not invest your money in understand ñoñu most of these people yu am xaalis ci biir dëkk ñoñu nekkutoon footballer boy ñoom Mohamed Dia ñoom jaawel muñ fi daati sax Hamidou Dia ñoñu xamuñ football why if so demee foofu noonu nga explainal guys sa business explainal guys sa business nga team bi jëndal 10% soo jëndee 10% at the end of suñ jaayee player maybe da nga am laissé 20 million boy yow kooku dafa investir loolu noonu waaye the thing is da ngaa gis benn nit boo xamante ne amul doole bi pour yóbbu team bi waaye moom because bëggut a joxe shares he want to take own 100% shares control team bi amuloo that financial muscle pour loon boy as a football team you need cash flow you need liquidity understand so yow let's say nga am benn 2 million nga na 2 million ngay run first division team du mën a dem look for partners understand boy teams like Manchester United ana benn nit moo ko moom you have different shareholders like Gambia mun loo dem team
gis pass waaye bro
mun loo dem boy no understand mënuloo dem team bu nekk ñu ne la kii moo ko moom 100% kii moo ko moom 100 su fekkee mu nga ko su fekkee mu nga ko handle finance I have no problem with that let's say Fortune ñoo ñu go def nice TMT they have the financial muscle BST why there are other teams yoo xam ne the reason why ñu ngi struggle sa si league bi they don't have the financial muscle I used to like one team in Gambia second division Serekunda United but that team used to have very very good players understand am na sama benn koto moom fa doon play man na ko ne man ñu suma doon advice gars ma doon gaay ne xoolal team bi gars yi dem udi ko xamante benn koto boo xamante dafa ñoo invest salis ñu jox ko 30% si team bi but Serekunda United used to have one of the best players si league bi si second division gars yi dañ daan a first division sax buñu jëkkoon ne leen ñu wàcca football dafa soxla xaalis understand waaye yow kenn su nekk si kona bi mu ne waa su ma joxee kii 10% shares maybe su ma jaayee player dama lose 10 million du loolu the more kooku invest xaalis si xaalis the more nga mën a attract more players you know waaye Gambia the thing is boy you don't want to discuss some of these things suñ toogee yow yaa ngi toog fi 2025 nga ne gars suñ ligue bi du noonu aguñ doole boobu noonu kañ la ñoo aga boy boy ñun bu ñëw play under 17 ñoom Os Diallo ñoom Zico boy Sénégal seen under 17 bi dama startuñ sax Sénégal startuñ senior team rek la gay amoon xoolal Sénégal seen Sénégal léegi basketball sax ñu ngi another level understand because you have people they are in the community they are investing in sport why yow boy yow nga téye nga ne yow 6 bi rek foog ma téye 100% shares bi rek understand so war a jënd compte sax
and it doesn't work it doesn't really work like that pace and yow loo wax nii loo wax nii is very right
let's say nga dem sports shop ñu ne la compte 300 la nga ko wana no defal 150 understand no
why Chinese phones am nañ original
man su ma amee team like right now ba nga nit the thing sometimes am awareness la wala something so ma amee team am let's say for example ma am cash flow of 10 million ma am liquidity of 10 million ma xam ne team bi Alassane su fa dugalee beneen 5 million boy team bi beneen level la moo nekk dama approach Alassane joko share si team bi mu jënd shares we move that's how you build a business
exactly
boy I Apple yooyu doon yëkkati ay Microsoft keneen nit moomu ko they have different shareholders even bank soo xoolee si bank industry bi sax banks they have different shareholders yow mu la am business boo xamante ne nga ne yow kenn foog nga dee rek yow kenn ay nekk shares business bi du dem the more shareholders you invite in your business the higher the possibility of your business growing understand
so basically I know you have a background I think in finance or banking so what you are saying is very important but you know where we need change is the GAPA Act. If that part is amended, if football is categorized as a special investment zone, these companies will come.
Right.
As long as
dama la nekk di wax Gambia suñ paree ak boru noonu balaa December 15 mu génn ana loolu da nga war a dem xeebun change ko.
No, but now it will take another 6 months. It has to go to parliament approval. But I know if the political will is there, it will work.
Lola la buga wani. Lola la boy. Kaya mo wala. Di nga parliament suñ bëgg am extra ordinary session dañ ko am. Understand? Mota Gambia there are certain things suñ fa génnee politique ñëpp pare pour gis Gambia mu dem Boy, man, do I make a footballer? The reason why I'm doing having this much passion, because boy, man, dama nan just mun dama ko fi de wax ñun time bu ñoo tiré da nga jog 7 o'clock nga dem tiré nga delu su 3 o'clock 3 nit yaa ngi añ nga faté añ nga dem because so dem 3 o'clock ko bi daf du la pli understand so yaa ngi gis boy yu ndo yu nekk di struggle boy so jógee suba sax ngay dem job nga sol yo nga sel sa kos ngay dem job yaa ngi gis ki muy taka boot bi di daw dem pli understand boy am na ñoo xamante ne waru ñoo football si koñ bi boy bekk wala si pagi bi ni bépp lifin boy mu leku ñaal si football understand boy loolu dëkk bi sax dañ amel bakar so yaa ngi am benn ñu bu toog si corner bi rek ne té baax bi rek di ci let's say exemple boo fi joxe ñu jox kenn contract mu ci baax contract bi dem ciu ko dem taka jabar yow di ko ñoon seen yoon mooy lan
well, I know you have passion, but if you want to talk about all this but I think how much are you paying me? It's 5:46 a.m. here in Beijing.
Bueno, as I'm close so then.
No. I don't.
Te tuuti ma laaj la MLD dama bëggoon a wane xanaa MLT moom elegam low class nag moo tax wane yaa ngi toog di living I was like
no anything for Gambian sport and Gambian football, it's I'm always in. So but what Base is saying, boy, is quite important for me. The reason why I don't talk about some of these things in public is because of my affiliation with the team. But sometimes if I put on my Secretary General lens as the Secretary General of SGAG, I talk about all these things. There are so many things going wrong in this country. And then the only way for us to solve this is to come here and talk about it. Those in charge should listen to us and do the needful. Bro, if I close to a team or a team owner, just have a deep conversation with the team owner. You will know all that I'm saying. Clubs owners are suffering. I'm unfortunate, at least financially we are okay, but other clubs are suffering, and then, we are trying, but the market, let's all be hopeful. Maybe in the next few years, the market will be here. We are working with agents like this. We have different partners. We invite agents to come to the Gambia, and then we'll invite teams. We'll have test games, and the agents will be watching all the players. But the problem has been the market, and then the visibility, blah blah, But we'll get there,
So before you go,
let's pray and have so many as an Esndur in Gambian football, people who are willing to invest. For me, I've been saying this. I like the TMT president. He has been investing a lot.
We had them last week.
So if you have the TMT, the Fortune, the BST, many of this, the standard, they are above all of us. To be honest, for them, they're already there. So most of the teams.
You see, real. If you people want, you can give them a fight. I mean professionally, see League B. Understand? Why is Man United? Are they not struggling?
No, let's not talk about Man United, bro. But fortunately, at least but fortunately, for the past 5 years, I think we've been on top, doing almost everything. But Real has been in existence for so many years. Fortunately, we just started. We started playing in the league in 2018. We'll get there hopefully soon. We already have our land. We want to have our own football field, like a complex. We have a female team as well, if you don't know. And the female
I was going to ask you that one before you conclude. I didn't hear you speak about
the female team will play in the first division this year. So it's not only boys, it's girls as well. We have the first division team, the female team, and then we have the academy team as well. So we're trying to make sure that we get there. But, gradually, slowly, monkey learn to jump from one tree to another. So we'll get there. Hopefully, maybe next year as well. The male team can win the league, and the female team will win the women.
So but you said that you are not winning the league this season. Don't forget that. So that's not gonna happen, right?
No, what I'm saying, I don't want. The thing is, bro, you know what will happen? What happened in the past 2 years? They will come to us and blame us because Real win the league. For me, that is what I don't understand. As if we are league, you know. So we don't want
Yeah.
that pressure for this year. We have other teams they can compete. Alpha was here
Yeah.
last week. He's compete, so let them compete. If they don't win, put
Yeah.
pressure on. So for we want to use our own pace to go, no pressure this time around, you know. But
Yeah.
it's good to
Boy,
compete, you know.
soalnya amul preso TMT ak BSP Galaxy ñu fa de bahna.
Yeah, let them. I think they can do it. BST, you know, they can do it. TMT, they can do it. I think they have the
Yeah.
firepower, but it's not easy like that, you know.
No.
Me, I'm putting my money on BSP. This season, I'm putting my money on BSP for real.
Bro, winning the league. Winning the league is not easy like that.
But they have the players, they have the money. That's the two things that you need: the money and the players.
So it's not about money alone, bro.
And the players.
If it were money, TMT would have won the FF Cup back to back.
No, but the Alpha was here, and Alpha explained, what led to those kind of circumstances. Why? What I'm telling you is,
but what led to that circumstances was on the pitch. Those teams were better than them. It was not money.
That's what I'm saying.
Money.
That's the aspect of having good players.
Yeah, they have good players. So, I want Fortune to win the league. But TMT, if they want to win the league, they can win the league. BST can win the league. We will be there competing with them.
Yeah. But anyway, this has been the Fan Zone, and what an insightful conversation we've had tonight. We've taken a deep look into the rise of Fortune Football Club, of course, their journey, the challenges, and their ambitions, all through the perspective of our distinguished guest. A big thank you to you, Mr. Mohamed Lamin Drame, the Secretary General of Fortune Football Club, for sharing his time and expertise with us, and to everyone who watched tonight, commented, and supported the show. Thank you for being part of the Fan Zone family. Have a good evening and keep supporting Gambian football. Bye.
Have a good evening. For me, I'm starting my day,
Good morning.
All right.
It's almost 6 a.m. here.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of living in China, right?
Yeah, I just want to confess, Mr. Mbalo.
Yeah.
You've been someone that I have been following ever since going to upper basic school. At some point in my grade 9, they used to call me Arason Mbalo, not because I was good, but because I used to listen to you a lot and talk about you a lot. So every time I come, they will tell me, Alasan Mbalo natural, Alila mo ayakan for, So thank you for inspiration for young people like me. You are one of the people that inspired me to become a sports journalist today. So keep inspiring us, and then it's good to have shared the same platform with you. And my boss, Del,
thank you.
is also someone who has been, inspired as well. My boss, keep it up, But thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much, bro. Thank you so much. Keep it up, man.
Let me,
All right, thank you, Lars. Thank you.
Bye.